Hey, welcome everyone. Let me move this back a bit, readjust a little bit. Yeah, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? I'll move this back, show off my new poster in the back over here behind me. Yeah, I moved some metal posters off, so I've got this one over here just up. Had this printed a couple years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago. And let me get some lights on here. This might help a little bit. Had it printed a couple years ago, so I was going to get it framed, but I noticed some damage in it. In the meanwhile, while I'm getting reprinted again, I found some old hangers that I could hang up the poster, so I just put them on, and this one's got a little red thing at the bottom, and then the one's got so it's hung up that way. So I thought I'd just do something a little different in the background. Just ended bounding into comics here. Reading some stuff here about DC Comics, and Batman artist Neal Adams tells white people, try not to be white in your heads. DC Comics and Batman artist Neal Adams, famous for his iconic designs of Batman and Green Arrow, and currently pinning Batman vs. Ra's al Ghul, recently told white people, try not to be white in your heads. Adams took to Twitter where he wrote, "White brothers and sisters, try not to be white in your heads. Please try. You must be smarter than that." And it's unclear what this comment actually means, and Adams doesn't exaggerate on it or explain it. These comments are the latest in what appears to be a growing pattern for Adams. Back in March 2019, Adams wrote, "Donald Trump has made me ashamed to be white and made me prefer to identify with whatever amount of me is otherwise." He added, "One day I hope to be less ashamed, not now." More recently, Adams have been targeted. The New York Times, the Washington Post, and MSNBC, as well as President Donald Trump. On July 20th, he wrote, New York Times, "You know in your heart that that Donald Trump is stupid, but he's stupid like Hitler or Junkyard Dog." Adams added he's practicing sending stormtroopers out into various cities. He doesn't want mail-in votes, so he presents as the head of the police at the post office, and what to do what. In sequences tweets, he would add, "You stupid monkeys! Look at the courts. Look at the Justice Department. Trump is chewing his leg off for every possible trap you have for him, and we're too stupid to know. Don't answer your door right now." On July 15th, he would send a tweet to both the New York Times and the Washington Post. He wrote, "The New York Times and the Washington Post. This last weekend, Donald Trump said, when he questioned that Fauci made many mistakes along the way, I leaped from my chair and cried out, 'How dare you? He never made any mistakes. He gave us science.'" He continued, "He took the science, twisted it, and made mistake after mistake. Fauci never made one mistake, except to try to support your sorry AS and your insane rumblings." And then he added, "Now, Navarro spoke the same words he spoke, and you say the same words, you just said the same words. Didn't come from you, sir, for many times liar. They were words, I heard them. Then in Swickens, in another tweet, he added, liar, liar, pants on fire. Now you disclaim his words as not yours. Pants on fire. Donald Pants on Fire. Earlier in July, he tweeted to MSNBC, writing, MSNBC, why are you media assless grinning like jackasses while you're talking to medical people without cures and treatment? He continued, how would you idiots feel if you caught the virus and they told you had to wait for antibodies or vaccine? Oh, that means that you could die. Adams continued in his thread, Tusk, you wouldn't be smiling then, would you? You want them to hand deliver the latest experimental drugs and antibodies to you. To F digging day, the country is in chaos. The doctor is no help. Citizens, not officials, would fix this in a day. But they don't have the authorization. Officials do. Officials have it. Do you know how many Union generals they have to go through to finally find Ulysses S. Grant? Somebody could do the job. Doctors have to find a new way to advance medicines now, he stated. Adams wrote, if Krumo, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce this person's name right, or Ben Laden, and we put in charge of the country today, we would have solutions tomorrow. So instead of that, millions are affected and hundreds of thousands die. And you boobs chuckle with your medical guests and never ask them the hard questions, like why the hell ain't antibodies given to everyone sick person? He concluded, and you can't accelerate tests. Why are we hoping that The Rock will do your job? Stop laughing in the face of death. We hate you for it. In January, Adams wrote, Donald, you saved Woolman Memorial Ice Skating Rink where I met my first wife, Corey. For that, I love you. I believe you were good. He added, you could have driven that out of me with a sledgehammer of inhumanity. You are not an American. In Sequentia's tweet, he wrote, Donald, your father was wrong. He was a bigot. He made you a bigot. We are all equal. Then he added, white people aren't even white people. We are mixed. We're mongrel and equal. You stopped learning and became corrupt. You must step down. Save the country. Back in October 2019, Adams would also write on Twitter, more ugly rich white executives from major car corporations are siding with the administration against emission controls in California. Who doesn't expect dogs like this to support killing the people with unreasonable air like in the old days while they're lining their pockets, he added. In Sequence's tweets, he called out Toyota and General Motors, hey Toyota and GM, ever the scum of the earth. He continued the vote to poison the air to put more dollars in their pockets. Why are we not surprised? Are you handing out masks to your employees? Sad. What do you make of Adams' comments? Do they make sense to you? They definitely don't make any sense to me. Hey, David. Yeah, I'm talking about Neil Adams. Neil Adams has been doing some really weird stuff on Twitter. Yeah, sorry I didn't get to your message there fast enough, David. Yeah, I can't see I can't read the screen and read the comments. I just got another tab open. Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to share my screen. I guess I have to be in Google Chrome. So, if you're back, you're watching us again. I was talking about Neil Adams. Neil Adams has been tweeting a whole bunch of weird stuff, which it doesn't make any sense. Ooh. All right. Oops, I think I'm losing here. Nope, I'm still here. Just getting a message up on my computer that I'm running out of disk space here. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to look about. Hopefully I don't lose you guys. If I do, I'll have to go in and do some stuff to my computer. Yeah, so just some weird stuff with Neil Adams. Seems like I don't know. Does he has Alzheimer's or something? Because he's making some really weird, really weird accusations and stuff like that. Stuff that's not making any sense. So I'm just looking at some stuff here. Yeah, I don't see anything new going on in the comic book industry that could be happening. Yeah, gonna try to stay on as long as I can. I'm having some computer issues here, so some might happen. I might lose the connection here. Anything anybody want to talk about that's going on in the comic book industry? Any Kickstarters that you want to talk about? Any new books? I don't see that much going on. I did watch Stargirl the other day. I really liked it. I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about the show in case you haven't watched it yet and I give out spoilers. But it was a pretty good show. The action was pretty good. Well, we had, there was some stuff with Brainwave and Brainwave Jr. And there's another character, Lizard King, I think it was, or something like that. He appeared. So, yeah. Yeah, so anything you want to talk about, just bring it into the chat. If you're still there, David, we can talk about your book if you like. Your Perfect 10. Perfect 10 was pretty good. It's a book I got the other day. This one here. It's called The Perfect 10. Really good story. Artwork's really nice. It's got a little pin up on the back. Yeah, I got this through Indiegogo. And I go through Perfect 10. It's a well-written book, well-paced, lots of action in it. A lot more action than usually stories I write. and the color's really good. Just gonna check on some stuff here for television. Oh, I might as well see if we can find something about televisions. It's here rumors that Donald Glover is to return to Star Wars as Lando Calrissian. A new Star Wars rumors details that actor Donald Glover will reprise his role as Lando Calrissian from Solo, a Star Wars story, in his own series. The rumor comes from the Kessel Run transmission host Corey and Nora Outlaw, who previously scooped that Bad Batch of animated series was in development. Disney would later confirm that the series is in development. Corey dropped the rumor saying, "We've heard that Donald Glover is coming back to Lando in his own series." And Outlaw added that, so they're kind of trying to. They had to work with him, and we saw this all the time. It's a joke on our show, but Brinks trucks that dump on Donald Glover's lawn to do the show was huge. YouTuber Grace Randolph had previously scooped on April that there would be 2 Lando Calrissian shows. Yes. So, my internet is frozen up here. Let's see. Okay, I got it back again. Sorry about that. She explained, so my final confirmation rumor for the day via sources have to do with Star Wars, as I promised. Randolph continued, as you can see, it is double Lando on Disney Plus. She broke down the show, one show taking place after Solo with Donald Glover, starring in maybe Lupin with Emilia Clarke's Kira and Darth Maul, who, of course, cameoed at the end of Solo. Randolph continues, there's some discussion about giving Quar her own show, but I only can see that happening if maybe Donald Glover conversations maybe fall through. I wouldn't do a 2 spin-off from Solo. That sounds ridiculous. Randolph then continues, the other Lando show would of course be after the Rise of Skywalker. She elaborated, yes, a whole show based on that single exchange between Billy D. Williams as Lando and Janua, as he offers to help her find out where she comes from. Maybe she's his daughter. However, before Randolph and the Kessel Run transmission scoops on Lando, Mickey Sutton in his Geeksology Facebook group noted that Lando was in early development back in November 2019. Sutton explained, a Lando miniseries in early development for Disney Plus, according to inside sources. He continued, Lucas is planning to have Donald Glover reprise his role from Solo. While Solo wasn't the massive box office smash that Disney wanted, Glover's portrayal was well received. Sutton added the program was expected to have gritty Western flavor of the Mandalorian, and the puppy fiction of Solo. What do you make of this new rumor regarding Lando starring Donald Glover? Yeah, so yeah, that would be interesting. Hopefully they do a good job on it. So yeah, I don't see that much really. Well, with the flu, the beer bug, there isn't that much going on, really. At least in movies. I did talk about yesterday about everything on HBO in August. They're going to have a lot of superhero stuff going on there. And let's see if there's anything going on in movies. And we're talking here about Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder reveals where his Justice League falls into continuity and struggles to finish it. Zack Snyder's Justice League might not shake things up for DC movies as much as we thought. The director discussed where his film will stand in larger continuity. He opened up to Grace Randolph in a recent interview that his notorious cut will take advantage of the multiverse and be a standalone similar to Joker and Batman. Calling how the DC cinematic universe is growing like a tree amazes Snyder, revealed where Justice League falls, and I believe that really sort of represents his own path. It's kind of separate now from the DC cinematic universe continuity, he says, and I think that's a good thing. Snyder added his main focus was wrapping up the story began in The Man of Steel. How Superman will be affected by returning from the dead should be explained too in a new way. The beer bug will put a dent in a lot of plans throughout the world and Hollywood. Finishing the Snyder Cut wasn't the smoothest ride to begin with, but Zack Snyder kept busy when at home, polishing his Justice League while he was working on the Army of the Dead. Presents challenges. Snyder, however, hasn't sacrificed efficiency. It's challenging, but I'll be honest about our work situation. In that, it's pretty efficient, he explained. He then elaborated that each level of his house deals with different areas of post-production. I have an editorial upstairs. Then downstairs we have like a screening room, so we can watch the dailies and watch the visual effects as they come in, he said. In the same screening room was host to his viral watch parties months ago, just as the pandemic and the condemned shutdowns were just getting started. Snyder added his editing suite, his software that mirrors, so he can see what his editor's doing. It's really an amazing technological setup he maintained through the presence and some difficulties. The problem is you can't leave it, right? It's literally in the house, he admitted, then emphasized his long hours. It's a crack of dawn unto the wee hours, and then we're working on it. Unless the kids come and drag me out, we're pretty much in there. He also talked a bit about the cut runtime, confirming it would be longer, upwards to 4 hours, and broken down into chapters. Snyder stated, "I have famously teased the running time at 214 minutes. Now its current state, it's going to end up longer than that. So exciting to be bringing all this new material to the fans. They get to see these crazy and awesome new sequences, and I think that's going to really exciting for everyone." Our readers may recall Snyder's using the temperature of a Thanksgiving turkey to tease the running time of his cut in 2018. Additionally, noted Warner Media pointed up a rumored $80 million at least to finish the movie. At that amount, it's probably higher. Zack Snyder's Justice League will be here in 2021 on HBO Max, with a virtual San Diego Comic-Con upon us and DC fandom in August. Snyder says he'll unveil a small clip. So what do you think? So yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if I can sit through a 4-hour movie. long time to watch a movie. You know, I remember going and seeing the Star Wars trilogy, and thought it was great, but I don't know if I want to sit through a 4 to 6 hour movie now. You know, it'd have to start pretty early in the morning for me to sit for a 6 hour movie. So are you anybody planning to go and watch the Zack Snyder cut when it comes out on HBO next year? Yeah, that's going to be a long sit. 4 hour movie. Yeah, so we're talking about some stuff about movies. Looks like alleged leaked New Mutants trailer reveals film is coming to Disney Plus. So an alleged leaked New Mutants trailer reveals that the film will be arriving on Disney Plus in September. The alleged trailer was leaked to YouTube and reveals much of the delayed film will be coming to Disney Plus, specifically on September 4th. The alleged trailer would gain worldwide attention once it was shared to an X-Men subreddit and then picked up on Twitter by using X Marvel or something like that. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that properly. Conflicting reports following the trailer gaining worldwide attention. There was a back and forth. Either the trailer was fake or not. Skylar Schuessler of this Insider seemed to think it was legit as he took to Twitter and wrote, "Okay, Disney should be announcing the New Mutants to Disney Plus very soon." Daniel Richman would indicate it could be fake, and then he stated, "Looking into it, and we'll let you know." Richman would later indicate that a Disney rep just told me it was fake. However, he would go on caution that Disney also stated their poster for the Solo movie was also fake, but that ended up actually being legitimate promotional artwork. He later added, "This would come from Disney, not from me, but maybe it's real and they don't want people to know. But I only told you what they told me. Let's wait and see." Sudler would then respond to Richman saying, "I 100% believe Disney told Daniel this. I have known Daniel a long time, and he'll be the first person to tell you that Disney does this all the time. When it comes to fake or even legit leaks of things, and the spot could be faked, but it's going to Disney Plus, and that's another story entirely." CBR would eventually get into the game, as well as an article by Tim Adams claiming the trailer is a fan-made Adams wrote. CBR has confirmed that the New Mutants teaser promoting a September 4th debut on Disney Plus is not real. Adams added, "According to Disney, it's a fan-made trailer and not a leaked announcement." Jacob, at Discussing Films, was also relayed from Disney claiming that the trailer is fake. He wrote, "Update, per Disney rep, it's fake." And then he added that Disney told him this is fake and fan created. Please ignore. Casey Walsh, of the editor-in-chief of Geeks Worldwide, also indicated Disney told him the trailer was fake. However, Walsh stated got the same message, but Disney International has made these mistakes before, and Disney denied, even though they turned out to be real. Walsh added, "This is taken from Australia TV and contains new footage and dialogue." Also, Disney was supposed to make a big announcement this week. Comic book movie notes that the alleged leaked trailer appeared to be containing new footage from the film if it is a legitimate trailer. Notably, the 16 to 17 second mark with new shots of Daniel Moonstar and a demon bear smashing through the wall. There is a 19-second mark with Young Mutants among the rubble, and 22-second mark with another glimpse of Moonstar. Back in April, Mikey Sudden scooped that Disney was seriously considering dropping the New Mutants on Disney Plus. In his Geeksology Facebook group, he explained, according to multiple inside sources, Disney has seriously considered dropping the New Mutants on Disney Plus, possibly by the summer. He added, please note that this is, as of this reporting, no final decision has been made yet. Obviously, the situation with global pandemic has made it difficult to nail down any of the theatrical release plans for alternatives. But Disney has weighed their opinions regarding the New Mutants, and they seem to be in agreement. This is the best path for that particular movie going forward, he elaborated. He then concluded it is a modest budget, so they wouldn't have to actually be leaving money on the table, and its presence on Disney Plus could give the channel a much-needed jolt. The New Mutants will have a panel in the Comic-Con at Home convention this Thursday. We should know more by then. Theater is not open. And in the meantime, there's a bit of an issue with waiting on theaters to reopen for much of the delayed New Mutants film. Tenet, which was supposed to jumpstart new films in theaters, have been definitely delayed. Variety reported that Tenet was removed from the Warner Brothers release calendar. Warner Brothers chairman Toby has stated that we will share a new 2020 release date immediately for Tenet, Christopher Nolan's wholly original and mind-blowing feature. He added, our goal throughout the process has been to ensure the highest odds of success for our films, while also being ready to support our theater partners with new contents as soon as they could safely open. Not only was Tenet indefinitely delayed, but Cohen Analysis Doug Crusitz predicts theaters in the United States will close until the middle of 2021. He told The Hollywood Reporter, we now expect domestic theaters to be largely closed until mid-2021, in part because we don't think the studios will be interested in releasing their largest movies into a capacity-constrained footprint. In fact, Cruz expects that there will be no film release in fiscal year of 2020. Along with many theaters still being closed in the United States, there's also contractual obligations with HBO for streaming. A report back in 2018 from the multi-channel detailed that Fox and HBO had signed a long-term extension to the distribution deal that began in the 1980s. R. Thomas Umset wrote, terms of the deal, the extension of a distribution agreement between two parties that began in the 1980s were not disclosed, but HBO and Fox executives said the agreement extended well into the next decade. He added that the deal includes digital media rights, including broadband, video on demand, and within the HBO premium window. Arnold Askrak, the HBO co-president of the time, stated, this year marks the 25th anniversary since HBO entered into a continuous output of deal with Fox, making it our longest running output relationship with a studio. He added, films from Fox have been part of HBO offerings since the early days of the network, and their constant success at the box office had made them a valuable part of our programming lineup. So for the film to skip its theatrical release would be more likely to have to step over a lot of contracts to do so. What do you think of the New Mutants show up on Disney Plus? What do you think of Disney's response to the trailer? So what do you think, everybody? Think it's going to get released? Do you think that's been fake, the trailer that's been out there? Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be sad. Things are not going to be opening in, movie theaters are not going to be opening until mid-2021. If it's that, that might even be longer than that, So, yeah, I'm just looking for some new stuff here. Anybody want to talk about, I did have somebody that did come in earlier, what we're talking about, but left before I could see it. So, what do you want to talk about? I can tell you what I've been working on today. I've been doing some voice recording. Maybe that's why my hard drive is filling up. I've been working on my Indiegogo campaign for Max Burger. So I'm trying to get the spill out. I can clearly read it to you guys if you want to hear it. Not hearing anybody complaints here. I'm going to switch off the camera here for a moment. I'm just going to go this way. Okay, so here's my Indiegogo elevator pitch. Hi, I'm William Byrne. 31 years ago, I wrote, illustrated, and self-published a 24-page black and white comic called Max Burger PI. Now I'm planning to release Max Burger PI #1 in a longer 48-page story with all new art. Max Burger PI is about a mutant hamburger private investigator born from a microwave explosion 17 years ago, who solves crimes and battles his brother, the Mad Burger, part cyborg, part hamburger, and who lives in the sewers and plots to take over the world to reshape it from his dark vision. So that is my elevator pitch for Max Burger. I think I still have to work on it a bit and maybe make it flow a bit. But what do you think? I do have one viewer here. What do you think of the elevator pitch? Do you like it? Do I need to trim it down a bit? I think I did a time on it. I think I'm around between 40 and 50 seconds on reading that. I don't want to go too long because when you're doing a little video or something on Indiegogo and that, I think it should be only about like a minute. People don't have attention span to watch anything for too long, so I guess you got to make it short and sweet. And I think I've tried to make it just short as possible. You gotta explain what you're promoting too. So should I go ahead with that, or do you think I should maybe trim it down a little bit more? Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple of things I got in mind. I'm trying my voice recorder for the first time. I don't know if it's if that's taking up all my space in my hard drive. I might have to change the size of the file or something. I'm not sure. So yeah, because I've been getting some messages saying that my hard drive is filling up. So I'm just wondering if it's just the voice recorder. I don't know if the voice recorder is part of Windows. I've got Windows 10 I'm running, but I've been getting messages today that my hard drive is having some issues. So this is a brand new computer, so I just bought it. I think I just had it in. I think I got it in November. Yeah, around there, around November or December. So it's not really. I don't really think it's that old, you know. So I'm gonna have to go in and check in the settings and stuff for the voice recorder and see where it's sending it to. I'll have to put it into an external hard drive if it's going into my main program drive. And I know I have a second drive in the computer that the my computer guy added in there, so I wouldn't be filling up my hard drive so much. Because I download the images and stuff. I try not to do images anymore on Facebook. I just usually copy and then paste them into whatever I'm doing, so they're not in my hard drive at all. So what kind of comic book stuff did you like to talk about? I don't know who's in here with me that's watching. I noticed there is a Dune comic book coming out from Boom Studios. Boom Studios announced that New Tales is a creative team behind their upcoming Dune House Atreides series. The series will be adapted and scripted by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. They'll be joined by artists Dev Parmak and colors Alex Germais. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. The series takes place before Frank Herbert's subliminal Dune novel, which is being adapted into film by Legendary Pictures and director Denis Villeneuve. The series will detail the events leading up to Herbert's Dune series. It will tell the story of Pardot Keynes as he seeks to unlock the archaeological secrets of Acaris in the remote, desolate regions of the planet. It will also follow an 8-year-old slave, Duncan Idaho, as he attempts to escape his cruel masters. The story of a young Leto Atreides will also be told as he begins a fateful journey that leads the House of Atreides to the planet Atreides. Meanwhile, Shaddam Cardo, son of Emperor Elrod, begins the plan of a violent coup. Boom Studios elaborates these are unlikely souls are drawn together for first as renegades and then something more. Then they discover their true fate to change the very shape of history. Along with these story details, Boom Studios also shared character designs for Luke, Leto, Valtimar, Harkonnen, and Dev. Colors Alex Germais. So Boom Studios senior editor Daphna Plimblom discussed the series stating that Dune is one of the most exciting and important science fiction worlds ever created. So once we had Brian and Kevin on board, we knew we needed some of the best artists in the business to deliver the kind of series that would deliver the epic story we're telling. Cleveland added that Dev and Alex bring an exciting look into the world of Dune, with Voldemort, Harkonnen, and Duke Leto visualizing for the very first time in comic book format. Add in superstars like Jay Lee and Dan Mora, bring jaw-dropping covers, and you've got series unlike anything else in comics. The first issue will feature a cover by Jay Lee and a variant cover by Dan Mora. Dune House at Trees. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time pronouncing that. I'm not into Dune that much, so and it will be a 12-issue limited miniseries published in coordination with Abraham Comic Arts. Abraham Comic Arts will be publishing graphic novels adaptations of Herbert Dune's novel that will be scripted and adapted by Brian Hubert and Kevin Anderson. They are joined by artists Raul Allen and Patricia Martin. Bill Sienkiewicz is expected to provide covers for those Dune adaptations. So, what do you think of the new Dune stuff that's coming out? I watched the movie back in the 80s. I couldn't get into it. I don't know if the books were any different. Haven't had a chance to read Dune. I don't even have it. I don't even have the books in my library, so I might have to pick up an original Frank Herbert Dune and read it through. Yeah, so not that much in here. Yeah, if I don't find too much more, I'm just gonna probably head off. Give it that hour in here and come back tomorrow. But I was reading some stuff here. Star Trek Deep Space Nine actor Armin Shimon claims the legacy of the show for Star Trek Deep Space Nine is Black Lives Matters. During the GalaxyCon, question and A, Star Trek Deep Space Nine veterans Amiran Sherman, Nana Visser, and Andrew Robinson talked about a variety of subjects related to the show. When asked about the legacy of the show, actor Armin Shimon claimed that the legacy of the show was Black Lives Matters. At around 22:20-minute mark, the actors were asked by a fan, "What do you think of the legacy of Star Trek Deep Space Nine is? Were you happy with your character's development and the overall Star Trek legacy?" Nana Visitor, who played Major Kara, responded, "Yeah, I'm happy with it, and I was happy with my character's development. I mean, I got such an arc of who she was. It really went the 7 years so much so that I could have been seen on for a few more. I loved what they did with my character." She then responded to the legacy question, stating, "I think legacy of Deep Space Nine is the more things change, the more they stay the same. I think there's question that Deep Space Nine brought up and held up for people to look at that completely for this time. They're the same. I think Deep Space Nine is very timely." Andrew Robinson, who played Garak, then responded, "The thing about the show is really changed my life. I came in expecting to do one episode. When I said it changed my life, I'm not exaggerating, because what the show did, because I wasn't a regular and I was a recurring character, I did enough shows so I could make enough money so I could do stuff that didn't make money." And in terms of the show, Robinson stated, "In terms of the legacy of the show itself, thematically and what it means, I don't know. We are here stuck in this world where we live now, and being assaulted on all fronts. Politically, medically, personally, financially, times are hard, and it is nice perhaps to turn on a show and see a show where there is a 24th century that has good actors in it. Armin Shimmerman's played Quark, then give his answers. For me, I was not always happy with the arc of my character, but I think starting towards the end of the second season, I began to realize that Quark could do something that was honorable every now and then, and which sort of appealed to me. He continued, I was very happy about the episode where I got to have what I called the stock moments, where the alien would speak to the humans and say, you think you are perfect, but look at your faults. These are some of my favorite episodes. Shimmerman added, I would say that it was a great learning curve between the second to the last episode and the last episode. In the second to the last episode, they had my character revert back to where he was at the beginning of the show, and I really saw for the first time in my own mind how far my character had progressed from that time. I was quite astonished by the things that had crept on me and I never noticed, and how much the character had changed. And as for legacy of the show, he answered, the legacy of the show, I think Nana was right, that the more the changes, the more we stay the same. Because from what Andy said as well, we are dealing with strange times. He continues, certainly with an understanding of what the African American community has been suffering for many years. We have always reminded of that on the show. We had a phenomenal actor who was very much concerned with Black Lives Matters, our captain, Avery Brooks. He added, I think one of the legacies of the show is his performance and what they wrote for him, demonstrating the problems of being a black man in basically a white and orange society. Robinson agreed, stating that's right on, Armin. And later, in the question and answers, another fan would ask, what would DS9 be talking about now if they were still on? Sherman responded, as I said earlier, we would be talking about racism. We did talk about racism, Visitor added. We did, with Robinson saying yes. Sherman continued, we would be talking more about. A visitor interjected, we hit it all. Politics, the Bajoran, who were in power, who were dirty. There was so much stuff we touched on. Sherman then added, our program wasn't about boldly going anywhere. Our program was about boldly living with each other, with people you didn't necessarily see eye to eye with. He added, at various times, my character didn't see eye to eye with other two characters right here, but we had to live with each other. We were quarantined together on the station, and we had to learn how to figure that out. And if we didn't like somebody, we had to figure out how to deal with them. Sherman concluded, and that's what we'd be talking about today, how we live with people that aren't familiar, because we must do that. We must learn to live with people that are not familiar. Robinson then added, and in boldly going within ourselves, within oneself, and that other often undiscovered country is like, who are we? Who are you? What is it? What is a human? What is an alien? He added, what is an alien, and how do I relate to the alien within me, and what alienates me from the rest of society? Deep Space Nine was never attached to those questions. It was always probing Avery's own view on Captain Benjamin Sisko. While Benjamin Sisko actor Avery Brooks was not on the panel, he had addressed the legacy of the show in previous interviews. In one interview, Brooks explained why he took on the role of Benjamin Sisko. He stated, part of the reason that I decided to do this role was the pilot. I thought it was an extraordinary, where you're looking at a man who is trying to find peace after suffering a tragic loss, who at the same time had to defend humankind to some other intelligence in the universe. He continued, one of the things that we must do is to give children some positive look at the world. Indeed, the universe, Star Trek helped to do that. In an interview from 1992, Brooks talked about his role, human conflicts, which made it a wonderful experience because you can play anything. He added, but certainly in terms of relationships, he had to find a way to pull off those various factions together. Major Kira, who was a Bajoran national, Odo, the shapeshifter, and Quark, the Ferengi. So you have these various cultures coming together, and he has to find a way to bond these creatures, these beings, including himself. During the Captain's documentary by William Shatner, Brooks opened up about another aspect, the way he felt was important to bring up the role of Sisko to life. He spoke of the landscape in America while discussing season 6 episode Far Beyond the Stars. That shows the difficulty of black science fiction writers trying to get published in the 1950s. He stated, you got a chance to deal with some very, very difficult subjects, as Star Trek often does. When we talk about America, we still face indirectable connection between racism, sexism, all that's here. It's part of our landscape. So the fact that we were able to talk about it, I thought was very important. In a section of Star Trek Impact, Brooks states, I say in the beginning to the people that you complete the thought. I always believe that not just about Star Trek, but engaging in this electronic two-dimensional plane. It's human beings that complete the thought. He continued, and there lies the power of it, because without the folks turning on, without the folks supporting it, talking about it, sharing with each other, he would later state, the window, if you will, to the imagination and the world was in some ways was more important than I ever considered. Thereby I understood, I hope in a new way, how important people are who decide to turn it on. What do you make of Sherman's claim that black life matters and the legacy of Deep Space Nine? Do you think the show should be addressing racism if it was on today? So, anyway, people, I am going to head off. I'm glad that everybody came. I see somebody just stepped in. Let me just stay in for a moment. I was just talking about Star Trek here. Deep Space Nine. They were talking about racism and stuff like that. And Quark said that the character who played Quark believed it was about the show was about Black Lives Matters and the impact and stuff that Deep Space Nine did. So, I'm actually going to leave now. So, everybody take care and you have a good day.